it was within about 50 feet of the aircraft or so. And they described it as a...
Yeah. How often were you and your crewmates were seeing these UAPs when you were actively flying? And
generally speaking, it was so prevalent that we were briefing them before flights, letting everyone know to be cautious. We even had them put into the local air systems warning systems, the notice to airmen or NOTAMs that all aircrew check before they go flying, specifically for that working space to say, hey, caution, there's unknown objects working out here. We don't know what to do about them or their origins, but they pose a air safety hazard for us, for our air operations. So they were prevalent is maybe a way of saying it. And we were seeing them through a variety of methods. We were seeing them on our radar. If we happen to get close enough, we'd see them with our FLIR. And then very often, at least initially, when we were trying to see them for the first times, really, we would merge with them, which means we would basically fly right up to them as slow as we can, really. We're not looking to zip by them, but still, that's still like 200 knots or so. And we have it on the radar, and we use that to get close enough for our cameras to see. And then, we continue to use the radar to get all the way in. And we have a Hemix helmet, which is a $100,000 system that links all my sensors to my eyeballs and my head and projects that information on the visor. And so as my radar is pumping all this information, I'm coming to the merge, I'm consummating the merge with my jet. I start transitioning outside. Now I'm looking through the visor, which is showing a box where I should look so that I can see the object that all my systems are telling me that are there. And then I can't see it, and it's like, well, I don't know. Like, was I in the wrong spot? Like, all my systems were telling me that was the right spot. And we turn around, which, takes us several thousand feet to do. It's not an immediate thing in a fighter jet. And the objects are still there. We're seeing it on the FLIR, we're seeing it on the radar still. So that was the case for a while. I don't know, again, it's hard to quantify, but for a period of time, that was kind of the status quo until someone from my squadron, there was 2 aircraft, as we typically operate, flying in formation like this, lead aircraft and wingman. They're flying out to the working areas just like we do every day. And we entered those working areas at a very specific altitude and GPS location. 12,000 feet at a GPS point when you go in, 11,000 feet, same GPS point when you're departing. It's just a transition point. And as soon as they entered that point, transition past that point, an object went right between the 2 aircraft that were flying like this. And it went closer to the flight lead, basically split them, but slightly more to the flight lead. So they estimated it was within about 50 feet of the aircraft or so. And they described it as a black cube inside of a clear sphere. It was completely stationary at that location. There was no propulsion or wings, great. There's no propulsion or wings. That kind of sounds like a balloon, but when you're in the air, it's like being in the sea. Everything's moving with the current. So when we see things up there that are stationary over GPS locations, that gathers our attention. That's like a red flag for us that something is wacky. It's almost like deja vu in a sense. But anyways, that's what they almost hit. They knocked the flight off and they came back to land. And I was in the ready room. They came back, they had their gear on still, and they're like, we almost hit one of those damn things. And we all, of course, knew what they were talking about because they were so prevalent. But this was the first time someone had got so close to say, wow, we almost hit it, and here's what it looked like. And that's how they described it.